Your president visited our country with 7 private jets, and that's never happened before. We're all excited. This is Nigeria. It's the country with the largest number of private jets. 7 private jets only. I know there must be more. But for us still, that was wow. They came in their own jets. Everybody came in their own jet.
We're talking about fuel subsidy. In 2009, this country paid 291 billion naira as subsidy for petroleum products. By 2011, this number had jumped to 2.7 trillion naira. There have been investigations, and what did we discover? That a lot of that money never went to fuel subsidy that was consumed by Nigerians.
An Australian who's been negotiating for the release of 200 schoolgirls kidnapped by Boko Haram from their school in northeast Nigeria has today accused unnamed politicians of funding the Islamist fighters. Well, according to Nigeria's This Day newspaper, Dr. Stephen Davies is saying that Nigerian politicians are one of Boko Haram's primary sources of funding.
There are commanders in Boko Haram who are willing to hand over the girls and who want to do a peace deal. They want to demobilize. Now, those guys, they have told me clearly they will not attempt to hand over the girls or further discussions on peace because the sponsors will direct the other guys to kill those willing to enter into the peace deal. So without the sponsors being active, we can start the peace deal. The first thing that should happen in Nigeria is arresting the sponsors. This would slow this down dramatically. First thing to do is go and arrest former Governor Sharif, former Borno Governor Sharif, who has been funding this for years. Former Borno Governor Sharif, who has been funding this for years, built these guys up. He is so frightened that he's going to be picked up. He has now switched parties to the ruling PDP in the hope this will give him protection.
The 3 gents that boarded the plane linked our federal government to the issue. Now the questions are, why did the transaction uphold a dodgy facade? Why did the government's response sound dull? Why is our president mostly mute over such a huge matter? Why is the incriminated Bank of Utah withholding critical information? Why haven't they disclosed the names of the Nigerians involved, despite the Israeli national's name had been disclosed as one Eyal Mesika? Why is this man not facing trials, instead still openly serving as one of the president's entourage to Israel? A grave criminal act, and our federal government had managed to twist it into a political and religious matter, as they always do. Jonathan, please, stop insulting us. For decades, our nation had suffered from bad governance interminably. Our leaders had always been corrupt, but this man is a magnificent record breaker. His cluelessness is outrageous and alarming. Another few years with this man on that seat, we will all be dead. Apart from the fact that he doesn't care, he doesn't know. Do you know how many times this man had ignorantly embarrassed your nation out there? Do you know how dry the streets are? Do you know how pained people are? How the nation bleeds every day? Do you know how many Nigerians have died in these last few years? If you keep watching NTA, you will never know. This channel literally campaigns for your dubious government. Back then, beggars were only handicaps and old folks, but nowadays, people that have a job are begging too. It's crazy. If you think you're not one of them, then you are in graver danger, because it means the beggars around you will eat you someday, either by robbery, black magic, or simply out of frustration. Did you ever say the anthem or the pledge? If you did, remember you also made an oath. And are you fulfilling that oath right now? Are you sitting there just complaining? Is that what makes you a Nigerian? How did we manage to let someone like this rule us this long in the first place? This man doesn't know jack about ruling. He's weak and slow, and we all know that. He can't even rule a school, talk of a nation. But what did we expect? Someone that had a major in zoology is only a professional herdsman. No wonder he sees Nigerians as less significant. In his mind, we are zoo animals. On a second note, can he even rule over animals when he couldn't even keep his wild dog tethered?
The plus we are sharing, there is God, oh. There is God, oh. There is God, oh. There is God, oh. There is God, oh.
Nigerians, the people this nation buries every day are your brothers and sisters. If you don't do something about this now, the death toll will increase, and it will definitely reach you. Don't just sit and complain. Think and act. Don't just listen to hearsays or NTA. Go out there and seek the truth. It's the least you can do for your country. Reaching first-hand information is too convenient these days, so step out and get it. It is your nation, your land, and your home. It is your people, your friends, and your family. It is your system, your economy, and your money. It is all yours. Most importantly, it is our past and our future. So get up and authoritatively snatch it from the hand of these greedy demons. Come 2015, now is the time. He is coming back to us to beg again. I don't know what story he's going to use for us this time, but we don't even care. Let's just kick him out and make him the scapegoat. Let him be the first incumbent president that will lose an election. This is the time for us to flex our muscles. They need to know that we know our rights and we will fight when we should. Once we use our might to displace this man in 2015, we will all protest to the new administration to probe him for every kobo he stole, and justice will prevail. This isn't only about punishing Jonathan, but also to let subsequent leaders know that we can deal with them if they mess up. Students, if this is happening now, what will happen when you are out there looking for a job? They'll tell you are the leaders of tomorrow. No one becomes a leader without a fight, except your name is Goodluck. Unemployed. I know I don't have to urge you. I know you despise this administration more than I do. Parents, you still cater for your children at the age of 30, 35. Who will cater for you when you're 70 and above? Don't put your mind on pensions. These freaks loot everything. So, the future of our nation lies in your hand. What will you do with it? Will you sit there or will you fight? If you choose to fight, then your number one weapon is your voice. Scream to the world. Spread the word. Let them know of the anti-Jonathan campaign. Rule with your voice. Rule with your voice. Nigerians, rule with your voice.